everybody to Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, once again, your host. And I wanted to talk about a film that I had in the collection probably for about 3 years now. I just came around to watching it recently. And I gotta say, this was, well, I'll show the film right now. So, we're taking a look at a film released in 2009, The Vampire Assistant, Circus the Freak. Now before I go with my review of the film, I gotta really talk about the title, because this is pretty much bugs me. Now, the front of the DVD, it says, The Vampire Assistant, Circus the Freak. Like Circus Soleil, but Circus the Freak. That. I can't really pronounce it right. But the sign shows it like that, and right there. But, if you look at the credits on the back, and you look at many websites, it says Circus the Freak, the Vampire Assistant. I don't know what this movie is called. Is it called Circus the Freak, the Vampire Assistant, or if it's the Vampire Assistant, Circus the Freak? I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm just going to call it the Vampire Assistant to make this video short, because calling it those three things and flip-flopping back's kind of dumb. So that was a big pet peeve. Now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about this movie. So the movie stars an unknown. His name is Chris Mazzaglorian. I'm just going to pronounce this out. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name wrong. He's a 6-year-old high schooler who basically he's along with his best friend, portrayed by Josh Hutcherson. Let's run down the cast first, because this talk about a cast in this film. We have, not only do we have John C. Reilly, we have Ken Watanabe, Josh Hutcherson, Chris Mazzaglorian. Again, I'm butchering that name wrong. Ray Stevenson, Patrick Fergus, Willem Dafoe, Salma Hayek, along with Frankie Faison, and Orlando Jones among the cast in this film. And that is a great cast. So like I said again, the best friends in high school, they're walking home from school and they spot this paper called Circus the Freak, which is basically like Circus Soleil, but basically with freaks, pretty much. This movie sort of reminded me a little bit of a film from the 30s called Freaks, which was the Todd Bauman 1930s film about circus freaks. Carnies, I should say. I gotta really say, the visual effects and cinematography is phenomenal. Now, a lot of these actors in this movie I have covered previously. Salma Hayek I covered in Puss in Boots, and Frankie Faison I covered in 2001's Hannibal. So they have made movies for Universal before. But it is a stellar cast. Another problem I have with the film is, I will say John C. Reilly is so miscast. This movie was directed by Paul Wentz. If you're familiar with the Wentz brothers, the previous film for Universal was 2002's About a Boy, which, that movie. It was also written by Brian Halligan, who directed Heath Ledger in 2 films, Knight's Tale and The Order. I felt like if Heath Ledger was alive, I feel like Heath Ledger would have got the role, but he would have been passed on in 2008, and this movie was a 2009 film, so they gave it to John C. Reilly. This movie flopped so much, but I want to get back to the film before I get to talking about the main stuff. So basically, they go to this place, it's like, they're like carnies, they meet a bunch of carnival circus freaks, and basically, he's an idiot. He steals a spider, which bites Hutcherson's character. So, he finds him and says, "You stole my spider. I will make a deal with you. If you can be my assistant." So, normally, are you going to bite me in the neck? So basically, they're like, no, because you'll die instantly. So he does this power where if you put your hands together like that, he'll do that. He'll snap like that. He'll do 2 fingers, 4 fingers. He'll do it like that, and he basically becomes a vampire assistant. So basically, it's kind of like a father-son. So he basically becomes a mentor to him. It's like a father and son kind of thing. So, in order for him to be a true vampire and join them, there's a scene where they're outside looking at the moon. He's like, is that a Little Dipper or Big Dipper? Snaps his neck, pushes him on there, he dies. However, he comes back alive with the help of, well, him. So he joins the Circus Freaks. He has a relationship with Patrick Fujian. He is the actor from Almost Famous. He's essentially playing the Almost Famous character. The Cameron Crowe character of Cameron Crowe was a snake. So he's playing that type of character again. I didn't know what he looked like, but I was like, yeah, that's the voice it is. Really stellar cast in this. Ken Watanabe plays the assistant to him. So at the beginning of the film, they go to this place and meet all the circus folks. So Salma Hayek plays the bearded lady-ish. Basically, she grows a big beard, then she cuts it all off, and she goes back to being Salma Hayek. I don't know what her character's name is. Frankie Faison plays a guy that has two stomachs, which is sort of pretty freaky. Yeah, I spotted a guy one time while I was at work who had a stomach like that. And after seeing Frankie Faison, I kind of got grossed out. So there was gross moments in that too, like that. Orlando Jones is in it, I forgot to mention. He plays a guy named Alexander Ribs. Basically, his ribs is cut off. He has like no ribs. So Kirsten Shaw's also in it, the actress from Bob's Burgers. She's in it. She plays the woman. She plays a lady that has these big old like buck teeth that can like chomp shovels and stuff. There's another character, another circus person loses a hand. It's really strange. It's fun. It's basically it's popcorn fun. But I'm going to tell you right now, the cinematography, the sets are amazing. They're like the best part. This is a beautiful looking film. Even for 2009, I think it still looks good. So, there's a big fight near the end. I'm not going to tell you how the outcome is. Ray Stevenson plays the main villain. He's sort of like the main vampire that's trying to go after his character, John C. Reilly's character. It's a really, really fun movie. I had a good time with this film. Like I said, the two nitpicks don't shy away from what I consider a hidden gem. It may not be for everybody, but it definitely is a hidden gem. Is there anything else I can mention in this film? I don't really know what I could say. Like I said, the only two minor things is more or less the title, and I think they could have had a better actor to portray to play the one main vampire. I don't think John C. Reilly was right for this role. I feel like he's trying to do his sort of characters that he's trying to do the same characters they did with his co-star buddy Will Ferrell. I feel that same way, and that's why I didn't feel it's not a bad performance. It's, like I said, really fun. The cast just did it. The characters on Ken Watanabe is good. He has this like big old forehead, like it's like the size of that. There are some funny moments. There are some great action. It's a ton of fun. I really had a good time. So yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll go ahead and show you the artwork. I do like the style of this artwork, though. I love the one picture I love in the back is right here, right. I don't know if you can see the viewfinder without me turning right there. That scene right there, that is a beautifully lit shot. And I give credit to Paul Wentz. He did a really awesome job. He actually wrote this along with Brian Helgeland. I didn't care for Knight's Tale. That was Brian Helgeland's film he directed. I didn't care for that one that much. But the plot, it actually was based on a book series, which is funny because this movie came out the same year Twilight came out. So, I think the reason is more people saw Twilight and sort of forgot this. In my opinion, this is sort of a great PG-13 horror film. Like I said, it was competing against Twilight. Yeah, I kind of wish this had some disc art. It was competing against Twilight, and I think it, compared to Twilight, Twilight made more money. This was a box office bomb to the point of, that from what I did when I went on Wikipedia, there are 9 books in this series. I think there are 9, but the book was written all the way back in 2000, eons before Twilight was ever created. But I feel this movie is not just... I feel that this movie is a lot better than Twilight. So, now that I talked about it, final verdict. Should you see Circus the Freak, the Vampire Assistant, or the Vampire Assistant, Circus the Freak? I don't know. That's a big pet peeve. Again, I have to really mention this. Why? Can we please stop confusing people? Can you just please stop titling movies differently than what the back says? What the back says should stay what the back says. I want you to process that, people. Can anybody tell me in the comments why they called it Circus the Freak Vampire Assistant and the cover says it differently? The spine says it differently, but the back says it differently. The opening credits say it differently. Stop. Just stop. I had to really bring that up. Can we please stop? Filmmakers, call the title the way it is. The books were titled as that, not Vampire Assistant. It's kind of like what they did, Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. That's also a big pet peeve. So, just stop. That's the main problem I have, is the title. I don't know. But, I'm dwelling on it. Let's now get to the final verdict. Final verdict, should you see whatever it wants to be called? We'll just say whatever the title is. And the answer is yes. Hell yes. This movie is not only popcorn fun, but I feel is super underrated. Though it's not a perfect movie, but it is a damn great film. I highly recommend checking out whatever the title of this movie is called. I'm just going to call the movie whatever it wants to be called. So, whether you call it the Vampire Assistant Circus the Freak or the Circus the Freak Vampire Assistant, whatever title is, this is going to not only make it on my best list of the year, but this is going to have a spot on my Universal shelf. And I'm putting this under C, just because the back of the DVD says is Circus the Freak the Vampire Assistant. This is going under letter C if I get a shelf. So, that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to dwell on my rant about it. The cast, like I said, fantastic. So, go check out whatever this movie is called. So, I'm going to stop there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to let you know now, just a personal word, I might not make it to 3 movies this week. In fact, I'm going to go see a concert tomorrow. I'm actually going to see a live concert, so I don't know if I'm going to post up another review tomorrow, but I will tell you after that concert, there'll be another movie. After this week, I'm going back to 3 movies because I don't have any plans going on. So that's just more of a personal word. I kind of want to bring that up, and that's sort of like a mini update on the channel, that you might see 2 or 3 movies. Just keep pop back on the channel. I have no internet yet, so I haven't really been putting up the reviews. In fact, I have 2 reviews. I have 2 reviews I have to post up plus this, and maybe a review tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. If I don't make it to the concert, you'll see the usual 3. You'll see one tomorrow maybe, or you'll see one at the time that I'm recording this. It might not be tomorrow, but that's just sort of a personal note and a personal word from me on the channel. So just keep popping back up on the page. Pop back up. I don't know if I'm going to be on Twitter often, but I'm not going to get into it though. So if you do see, just head back on the channel. Can anybody let me know in the comments why this was called? I really want to know someone can tell me why this is called, why they have different alternate titles. It's like Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. What's the movie called? I don't know why the filmmakers, the poll once really needs to know why. But that's all I'm saying. Like I said, thank you guys for watching so much. I'm going to bid you all good night. And come back next time. There might be a review tomorrow, might not. You're just going to have to stick around to the site. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.